I'm Eddy Hogg and I'm a lecturer in social policy at the University of Kent. So what I really love to do is to conduct research on things that really matter in the world around us right here, right now. One example of this is the issue of schools having to go out and raise money from their communities because they haven't got sufficient funding from government to do the things they want or need to do. So what we did is we looked at all primary schools in Kent and we tried to assess whether schools in richer areas got more money and more volunteer time donated to them than schools in poorer areas. And our findings were stark. In terms of volunteer time, a school that has a high proportion of pupils on free school meals, so over 35%, attracts 1 minute of volunteer time per pupil per week. On the other side, schools with under 20% of pupils on free school meals, so the more affluent areas, get 15 minutes of volunteer time per pupil per week. If you've got a class of 30 and you've got a couple of kids really struggling with their reading, the difference between having a quarter of an hour of volunteer time per pupil and 1 minute can have a huge impact on those children's learning. And it's the same with the giving of money. Again, looking at those schools with a high proportion of pupils on free school meals, they're attracting £15 per pupil per year. On the other side of that, those with a low proportion of pupils on free school meals, we're looking at over £45 per pupil per year. Now these might not seem like big sums of money, but that's the difference between the school having additional resources that provide opportunities for young people. So at primary school in the state sector, where we should see inequality between young people being levelled out, what we're seeing is inequality being widened by a system that underfunds schools and relies on charitable donations to provide instead. So studying social policy allows me to explore these issues of social justice, explore these issues that have tremendous effects on people's lives, and propose solutions that mean that people across the country and across the world have better opportunities. If you find these issues as interesting as I do, then do come study social policy at the University of Kent in the Department of Social Policy, Sociology and Social Research.